this episode of Doing Da Vinci.
It's a machine gun.
Got 33 cannons in the place of where one cannon would normally be.
It's dangerous.
The team takes on Leonardo's deadliest design.
This is what you've got coming right towards you. Boom!
My first impression of the thing is that it's a nasty, dangerous weapon.
One little spark and kaplooey, man.
Will they complete this unprecedented build together?
He's my buddy and I'll go for it.
Or does the team finally detonate?
Let me see your welding. Let me see your machining. You keep saying you can do it, but you can't do crap.
He's right. I couldn't work in his shop because right off the bat, I'd knock him through the window.
Fire in the hole!
Can Da Vinci's supersized machine gun blast from the past?
Let me see a little. Oh! You can argue with me all you want. I know, all right.
Leonardo da Vinci, the original Renaissance man. Master of science, master of the arts, master of war. His revolutionary designs were capable of unparalleled destruction. They were the most advanced weapons of their day. Yet no proof exists that they were ever constructed. We've assembled a team of 4 builders. These experts will put the 15th century master's plans to the test, using the materials of Da Vinci's time.
So what do you think he has in store for us this time, huh?
Lordy, lordy, lordy. Let's find out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
too. Right.
What do you got for us this time?
I thought about what I should give you, and I would like you to have something really special. I think that when you look at Leonardo and what he invented, I'd like to give you a war machine which looks really futuristic and is something which you know comes from Leonardo da Vinci. So I think you'll be excited by it. First, I'll tell you what it is. It's a machine gun.
Ooh,
cool. It's something that, Gatling invented a machine gun during the American Civil War back in the 1860s. This is Leonardo's version from the 1480s.
Wow.
Let's see this machine gun.
There we go.
And let me start by telling you a little about what we're looking at. This was drawn around the year 1480. Leonardo is about 30 years old, and he's just starting off his career as a military engineer. And what this is a machine gun. It has 3 racks of barrels, and there are 11 guns on each of those racks.
So I'm looking at this drawing, and my first impression of the thing is that it's sort of a nasty, dangerous weapon.
In his notes, he calls it an organ pipe musket. There's 11 of them at once that are going to fire, and then we'll see that it's like a triangle shape. And so the second part that's down below is going to cool off, and the third part you can reload. And so 33 guns, which will be fired 11 at a time. So that's pretty clear what we need to do.
This new machine that we're about to build is all about the cannons. I mean, it is basically a platform for mass chaos and carnage, delivering the enemy to hell.
In those days, 500 years ago, on average, it would take about 2 minutes to reload a gun. Leonardo's design is basically increasing the efficiency of what you can do. It's really very efficient. You don't want to use too much or too little gunpowder, and that's why I think this is going to be a little bit of a dangerous build. If you use too little, nothing's going to happen when you fire it. If you use too much gunpowder, this whole thing could explode. And so you guys will really have to watch out and be safe. I'm a little bit worried about your safety.
Thank you.
And that is the amazing design of a machine gun from Leonardo.
I like it.
Why do you suppose he went with 33? Why not just have 10 per?
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't know. He picks odd numbers.
Maybe it's a Trinity kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
right.
like a gun for the Pope or something.
We don't know why he picked 11, and he could have picked 10 or he could have picked more, and it might be that this was more to do with the gun barrels that he had lying around in his shop, and that he had this many, and that he thought it was a good number to work with.
Now, is there any proof that this was ever built?
Well, no, we don't know the answer to that. It's a great question. If that was written, it never came down to us.
Does that mean no one ever survived using it? Either in front or
Guys,
behind
it's
it?
a really pleasure knowing you.
Thanks, Doc.
The sheer amount of cannons in it is like ridiculous. So, we're calling it a machine gun basically because it's got 33 cannons in the place of where one cannon would normally be. So, I mean, this is some crazy stuff happening.
What would the purpose necessarily be in battle?
This is probably directed at people and not buildings. And I think once word got out that your side had this, the other side would know about it, and people would be really intimidated by it. I think this could influence the battle.
Wow.
Bring it on.
Okay, guys, I've given you a new design. I think it's a really exciting one. I want you to go do it, and I'm sure you'll do a fantastic job.
You got it.
That's
you got
the plan.
it.
Thank you.
Doc. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Ciao.
See you. Wow. This new build is the most absurd thing I've ever tried to build. I mean, it's just really dangerous.
I've got kind of a concept of how big it might be. Just, you know, people height. So you can crank it, which means that's about yay high, and then you've got, you know, cannons that are about that big. It's going to get...
Well, so we're looking at some pretty big lumber again.
It's just going to have to be big to withstand the recoil.
And that may be an issue again of how you fire it.
It's going to be dangerous.
I don't know if you've ever played with black powder before. One little spark can kaplooey, man.
Well, I think we got a pretty good idea. We can start at it.
It's all about the cannons.
Actually, it's all about the wood.
Always is.
Have fun
It's
here.
always about the wood.
Let me know when you get something.
The nicely cut wood.
Oh, suck an egg.
Now we have a multi-barreled cannon, sort of like a machine gun. And my first step in designing this thing, basically just trying to figure out the proportions of everything. There's a little handle that comes up right here that adjusts how high or low you're shooting the cannons. So if I were standing there with my hands on this thing, the top of my head might be more or less in line with the wheel. So the wheel itself might be 5.5 or 6 feet tall. And what we really need to find out now is how big the cannon is. That will determine how big the shelf is that 11 of them will sit on. Right now, I've got a sketch of the cannon. The tube is about 4 feet long and 5 inches round on the outside and 4 inches round on the inside. We want a fairly thick wall so that it's nice and safe when the thing goes off. I'll line them all up and then lay them all out and see how deep the shelf needs to be to make this triangle thing. So now the cannons, when they lay in, they'll be like right up against this plate. So this is like the locked-in firing position. So they fire off one round. There's a guy that's moving this up at the same time. Another guy is moving this forward. So that one comes around, and then this would fall back into position, and then this one would fire the second round. At this point, I'm ready to generate some drawings, put them all together, and take them down to the guys.
So Jurgen brought the plans down for the machine gun, as we're calling it, and it looks awesome. I mean, it looks just like Da Vinci's drawing, just in 3D, and we can get a good idea of all the parts that are moving.
The cannons are roughly 4 feet. The wedge has to kind of go behind the framework because it's absorbing the shock of it.
Jurgen is really good at computer-generated things. I don't even own a computer, so I'm always fascinated. And I feel a little more comfortable now that I've seen some of what he's put in there for the safety reasons. Although I still don't think this thing's all that safe, and I won't be the one firing it. I mean, the amount of vibrations you're going to get out of 11 cannons shooting off at once is going to be, it's going to take a...
This will probably be one of the heaviest things
Jolt.
per square foot that we've ever built.
This construction is going to have to be really strong. The wood joints are going to have to be strong. The steel's really going to have to hold up because the concussion that's going to happen when you fire each row is going to be jarring on everything.
So the plans are right there in the book.
I'm ready to get going. Are you guys?
Yeah, start cutting.
Start marking things out.
See you guys in a bit.
All right. I think the build should go okay. It's just the end part, the testing. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, what we've got here is the yoke side beam. Now the yoke is the part that's going to lift up and drop down, holding the cannons in place. We've got to make 2 of these. They've got to be pretty much exact. So we might use the bandsaw on part of it and then the chainsaw on the other part of it. We're not sure yet.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Chainsaw.
Val should be very careful when he steps over into the wood department. We've noticed before that his productivity is not what I would say up to par. Basically, he got in our way.
Uh-oh. What are you cutting? More chainsaw cuts?
I'm gonna,
Because they're so accurate?
I'm gonna cut you. I think I'm gonna start with you, and then after that, I won't have to answer any more questions. Val does an awful lot of talking and produces very little. I mean, no matter what we do, it's when we start up the table saw, we go, whoa! Using the table saw, huh? Or the chain.